Chiropractic originally for me was just about back pain. So when I was in college, I was having chronic low back pain that was keeping me from playing basketball at the time. I started seeing a chiropractor. I had been to PT, I'd been to ortho, I'd been to neuro, I'd had MRIs. And the only thing that really helped me was a combination of really intense massage therapy muscle work and chiropractic manipulation. So originally for me, I just thought of chiropractic as a way to decrease the back pain so that I could play basketball. Yeah, I didn't think about it as a career until years later, actually, because I got my original degree in clinical psychology, and I had a plan. And as I started going through psychology courses and learning about the brain and the emotions behind our activities, the connection between physical pain, emotional pain, and mental pain, anxiety, depression, all of these things were tied together in this really unique way. Right around that same time, I started to get anxiety and depression myself. And I was noticing that the more physical work I was getting with my chiropractor and my therapist at the time to get some off-fascial work, I was actually having decreased anxiety and decreased tension. So I started looking at combining those things, and it just made more sense for me to combine those elements through chiropractic than to continue on the path of psychology. So that's how I ended up here. Chiropractic care for me, it's really interesting. I think most people think of the idea of chiropractic care as adjusting the back. And then, the spinal manipulation, that's chiropractic. And then they talk about how it can have all of these uh, effects that happen in the body. But for me, it's a very straight line from muscle work to chiropractic to the emotional and physical responses that occur. So for me, chiropractic isn't just about adjustment, it's about muscle work, it's about exercise, it's about diet, it's about emotional support. So all of these things come into the idea of basic just healthcare. So chiropractic is, for me, a component of healthcare, but it requires so many other things. It's a vital component, but it's really about changing your life, changing your vision, and trying to be healthy from body to mind and back. So I had two favorite conditions while I was treating. One of them is really basic, and it was just migraines and headaches. And I think what's interesting is that I love to do it, even though it has one of the lower success rates for treatment. It's why migraines are such a problem. It's because we can do really heavy drugs, and we can do manipulation, and we can do muscle work, but it doesn't respond the way a lot of other things. Like, I know if you come into me with low back pain and it's mechanical, I know I'm going to get you feeling better. And I know I'm going to get you feeling better fairly quickly. Migraines to me were always a challenge because it really did key into these other things, right? It could be dehydration, it could be emotional stress, it could be financial stress. These things get held in the body and become tight muscles. The muscles get tight, the joints don't move. So it was this really great combination of fitting all the things that I was passionate about into one condition and one treatment. So I really was passionate about migraines and headaches. I just thought it was really fun. The other thing I'll point out that I really liked was fibromyalgia. Again, one of those things that doesn't really work. Like, a lot of doctors are like, man, please don't send me any fibro patients. For me, it's just where I live. Like, I love the idea that somebody's going to come in with this very complicated case. They've been to all these other places, they've talked to their doctor, they've talked to their therapist, they've probably been to chiropractors before, and they come into a MyoCore office and they get what we call the MOS, myofascial release method, that we're using a lot of different things, but we're using myofascial release as this kind of key component while talking about the other things that I've already mentioned. So I really loved, again, things that were complicated and weren't quite as straight line as a simple strain sprain or something like that.